Hello everyone, my name is Abhishek. This term gave me practical reputation that translated into growth. I learned three things about myself. First, I perform best when I create clarity early. If I name the outcome, the owner, and the next step at the start, execution accelerates and rework drop. Second, structured reflection turn activity into improvement. A brief weekly review of what worked, what didn't, and what I will change keeps me from repeating the same mistake. Third, I study under pressure. When plans shift or timeline compress, I reframe the problem, focus on controllable action, and keep the team moving. My preferred leadership style? It's a servant leadership style. A servant leadership style with a coaching mindset that is enabled by emotional intelligence. Let me define that briefly. Servant leadership style means I put mission and the team's need first. My role is to remove obstacles, provide context and resources, and set a clear directions so others can do their best work. A coaching mindset means I lead with question before answers, clarifying goals, surfacing constraints, generating options, and choosing a path with explicit trade-off. Emotional intelligence is the ability to read and manage emotion, not just mine, but others. So decisions and relationships improve. Practically, it shows up as self awareness, self management, empathy, and clear communication. Three specific examples of how this approach helped me to solve professional challenges. First, fast cross functional alignment. So, we needed to launch a student workshop series with multiple partners on a time deadline. The risk was misalignment and last minute rework. I convened a 30-minute kickoff anchored by one page debrief outcome. This page debrief consists of outcome, scope, rules, milestone, and single source of truth for the logistics. I then ask each partner to state one success metric in one sentence, map dependency, and schedule a meet point risk check. Emotional intelligence mattered when two quarter colleagues flagged room capacity and communication timing. I drew them in, adjusted early, and avoided scramble. What that resulted in? That resulted in an on time launch, strong attendance, and a fraction of the usual last minute email because decisions and owners were explicit. The second example is resolving a co op documentation issue. So a graduate student was anxious about the role scope of the required paperwork. So instead of giving them a quick directive, I coached them through a simple sequence. First, define the goal. So we approved documentation by a specific date. Then we listed the constraint, and then we created two viable paths with trade-off, and the student has to select one. I supported execution by providing a clean template and coordinating with the correct office to remove the bottleneck. I acknowledge student stress, keep the tone steady, and focus attention on the next right step. This resulted into the documentation being submitted on time and the student left with repeatable decision process. Their ownership increased and their anxiety decreased. And the third example is moving from opinions to data. Programming choices were driven by anecdotes. I served the team by building a lightweight dashboard from assessing sign-in and feedback data. I then standardized the process, cleaned the fields, and put 15-minute weekly review on calendar. I coached the group to use three questions. What changed? So what? And now what? Framing shift without blame. This kept the conversation going, and within a month, we moved one session time, retired a low value activity, and expanded a high rated format. Attendance rose, and planning meetings got shorter because we were deciding from evidence, not intuition. Across these cases, the pattern is consistent. Servant leadership style. Servant leadership style provided with clarity and resources. The coaching mindset built ownership and speed, and emotional intelligence reduced the friction and kept people engaged. Together, they translated intent into outcome, connecting back to self learning. Clarity is my lever. When I define outcome, owner, and next step, execution accelerates. Reflection is my engine. A short weekly review compounds learning. Resilience is my safety net. When plans change, I stay calm, reframe, and maintain momentum. Looking ahead, I will keep two simple habits that sustain this style. First, a weekly 15-minute reflection with three notes: one keep, one improve, and one stop. Second, built in feedback loop on project, a midpoint risk check, and short end of project debrief. This catch issue early and help us scale what work. This time confirmed a leadership approach that fits me. Serve the mission and the people, coach for ownership, and use emotional intelligence to preserve trust and focus. That's how I will continue to solve the real problem and deliver the result. Thank you so much for listening.